Hello ladies and gents, this is another video brought to you by Ants Hood. And today's video is about my Harpegnathos venator for Queen Madness. This is my second attempt of trying harps. Now, I did have an original Connley. It was given to me by Ants HQ that had two queens. Now, some of you guys who watched the last video know that the setup for them wasn't appropriate. The brood, even though they had loads, never actually progressed to adulthood or anything like that. And I had to move them out. And when I did finally move them out, I didn't realise this at the time, but both queens were dead, which only left me with about 20 workers. But you're going to have to check out my last video. There's a lot about their breeding process with these ants. It's not straightforward. I'll put a link in the top right corner now so you can check out my last video and know what I'm talking about, how the breeding process is very different to a lot of other ants. Because it'll take me 10 minutes to go through the whole description again. Just check out that last video. Anyway, some of you might have seen the short on this as well. It was a bit of a spoiler, but let's check out this Connley. Now this time I got them from Antics just because of the retailer I like to use, nothing overly against Ants HQ, and this is the Connley. They do look super cool. But let's just get a quick macro shot. So that's a queen, got a queen there, got a queen there, and I got a queen there. So that's 4 queens. I think there's about 4, 5, maybe even 6 workers. So it's a good Connley, to be fair, as you can see from that pupae pile or cocoons. So there's plenty of new adults to come through, hopefully. Fingers crossed that these guys actually hatch. You're going to have to bear with this. The quality is really bad because that worker is dead right in the way. So my camera kept trying to focus it on that and not on the background. So it keeps going in and out of focus. So I apologise for that. But you can see there's some larvae there. And there's some more younger larvae there as well. There's also a big larvae next to that other big one on the right hand side there. And I'm not sure if you can just see here, I've also got some eggs as well. They look like fresh eggs. But as you can see, there's probably around, as I look over, 2, 4, 6, 8, there's probably about 8 pupae there, or cocoons. So, and they look like they're about ready to pop as well. So hopefully I get some fresh adults as well. Now, these workers live anywhere between 1 to 2 years. So like my other Connley, if the queens die, there was plenty of workers. But I'm going to talk a bit more about my other Connley and this Connley a bit later. So hold out for that. But first, let's talk about the setup I'm going to put these guys in. I've actually gone for the Wakooshi Gen 3 Gypsum Medium Nest. As you can see here, the gypsum's all over the base, so it will hold that humidity, which is what I think I was lacking in my last Connley's last setup. And lucky enough, I already had this nest kicking around because this was gifted to me by Ants Major. I'll put a link to his YouTube channel down below a little while ago, and this is the first time I've got a chance to use it. But there's nice big chambers for them because they're quite big ants. And I think it will be ideal, to be fair. All I need to do is modify it slightly, but you'll see that video of what I'm doing in a sec. And when I say modify it, I don't really mean modify it. I'm going to change anything because I'm not. As you can see, what I'm doing now is I'm just putting humidity in there now. This gypsum's going to be really dry, so the humidity is going to be quite low. And I'm looking at moving these in pretty soon, to be fair. I only got them today. I've done this video today, and I'm going to release it this weekend. So, like, literally, we're talking fastball here. So what I'm doing is I'm going to take off the acrylic cover. Now, the reason for that is I want to put some form of substrate in there and soil kind of stuff in there. So I've been told, and I think I've observed this as well with my last Connley, is they like to use substrate. Well, they don't like to. They have to use substrate so the larvae can weave their cocoons around it. They need the substrate to be able to weave the cocoons and then cocoon themselves, obviously, into their pupae state. If they haven't got that, I still believe they can do it, but it's just a lot of stress for the workers, and I don't think that they actually mature to adulthood. Either way, I'm not going to whisk it for a biscuit, and I'm going to put some substrate in here. But as you can see, I just wanted to make sure there's plenty of humidity in there as well when they do move in. But yeah, as you can tell, I'm just tipping some excess water out there. But yeah, what I'm actually using is some substrate that I've got out of my terrarium. Now, there is some detritus in there. There is springtails in there as well. So if you do see the springtails, it's not mites or anything like that. It is springtails. And what I'm doing now is just compacting it down so it's nice and firm. And if there's any big, like, long bits, I'm taking them out as well, just so they don't get in the way. They will slightly cover the acrylic cover for it when they move the substrate around. Yes, I'm aware of it. I'm not bothered by it. As long as I can still see in there, I'm pretty happy. But job's a good one. I'm including this as well, just so you can see me put it together again. What I don't do is tighten all the screws up really tight to start with. I put them all in fairly loosely, and then I go around tightening them all up. It just prevents the possibility of the acrylic warping or anything like that. So I thought I filmed it, but clearly didn't. Classic Hood style, you know. But if you look to the top of the video right now, you can see that I've already connected the nest to an outworld. That outworld's the Ant Boy UK Elite Nest. Great with big ants. Don't get any tiny ants in there that will get out. But yeah, so I've connected that up. I use these quite regularly for bigger ants. I think they're all right. But what I'm doing is getting some tubing out. Now, the reason I'm getting the tubing out is I wanted to show you guys what I actually do here. Now, first thing is I make sure that the tubing's the right size so it all fits together, because that, believe it or not, that large one on the outside is Wakooshi's old tubing he used to use on his Gen 2 stuff, early Gen 2 stuff. I don't know the exact size off the top of my head, but I still think he supplies it. Now, believe it or not, as you'll see in a second, that fits pretty much perfectly inside these test tubes, so I can get a nice snug fit and no ants can get out. Look, watch it go in, see, and it's nice and stiff. And I've got progressive size smaller until it fits the hole to the outworld here, as you can see. So I've got a good fit there, the ants can get out. And the idea is I don't want to stress these out. I don't like dropping ants into outworlds. It really bothers me. It stresses them out. They run around like crazies. So what I prefer to do is something like this, so they can move into the new nest in their own time. I suspect they will move into the new nest anyway, because it's got substrate in there which they like. It's nice and humid, which they like, and it will be dark, because what I am doing is keeping a light on it to encourage them to move. But arguably, what I could also do is still keep this test tube covered if I believe that they'll move of their own accord, so it's not got light on it. I kind of want to encourage them to move out of the test tube because I'm starting to run out of space a bit, and I want to make it smaller with just the outworld and the nest rather than this test tube as well. I only connected these up for a couple of minutes, and you can see it looks like is she a queen or a worker? I can't really tell. Now, these are semi-colostral queens, so they will go out and forage themselves, so I'm not too concerned about a queen going out because it's still basically a foundation Connley. But anyway, it didn't take them long to start going out and exploring, as you can see here. I didn't put any food in there straight away because I wanted to settle down. But what I did notice, I've actually got another view, better view of the test tube, so I want to get a macro shot on that now. Now, I got absolutely no idea what this worker's doing. My first thought, she might have just emerged, but there's no carcasses from the cocoons, so I think she's just chilling. I have checked on her since, and the worker's fine. They're all running around, so I'm not overly concerned by that. But if we can get my focus in, you can see that I have got quite a fair bit of larvae. And if you check out there as well, there is a nice little pile of eggs. So we're all go for this Connley. I think that we're going to be doing all right. I'm hoping we're going to be doing all right. I've got them in a, hopefully, I think, a correct setup. Now, that setup, the nest I've got from is very similar to one that Wakooshi was using for his Harpegnathos Connley, and his were doing fine. So I think we're going to be all right with this one. I'm really looking forward to it. It's got loads of queens. Hopefully she'll grow. Honestly, she looks like she's dead, but she's not, guys, I swear. Lots of queens. Hope this Connley will be doing awesome. Now it's time for a bit of a cheeky time lapse. So you can see from this time lapse, it did not take them long at all to start exploring that new nest. So hopefully, fingers crossed, the move is happening pretty soon. The ants in the background, by the way, my leaf cutters, in case anyone was wondering. So yeah, fingers crossed this Connley. I'm really hopeful. Loads of queens, loads of pupae. So they're obviously mature and bred and all that stuff. So fingers crossed they could do all right. But let's just quickly have a look at my old Connley. Now, as you can see, there is eggs there. You need to watch that previous video I tagged earlier before to understand what's going on here. But there is like 20 odd workers, and like I said, they live for about a year. What my hope is that my new Connley produces a couple of males, because if they do produce a couple of males, I'm going to introduce them to this Connley in the hope that they mate with the dominant worker, the one that's laying all these eggs, which aren't developing at all. They keep laying the eggs, they eat them, lay the eggs, they eat them. There is a big pile of them there, but unfortunately nothing's going to come of it. Now, as you can see, I'm still feeding them cockroaches. They still go out hunting, and they're still quite content in life. I've not lost any workers for a long time, but that's my hope. The new Connley produces males. I can chuck them in here, and hopefully these guys grow. If we quickly pop back to the new Connley, as you can see, there is a worker that started to guard the entrance. Now, I'm hoping that these guys do move into here. It's also worth noting about the substrate. These guys love to block their tunnels up. It's perfectly normal. They do that to maintain the humidity inside the nest, just so if you get these guys, you know what they're doing. But they are in there. You can see little antennas walking around. So fingers crossed for this Connley. I reckon they'll be fine. Hoping they'll be fine, because I really like these ants and I really want to have a successful Connley. So, and if I can get these producing males, I can hopefully make them with my old Connley, and then I've got two Connleys. We'll have to wait and see though. Now, I do love watching these guys hunt. They do look super cool doing it as well. Even though these guys are a bit clumsy, they might be on the inexperienced side of life when it comes to hunting. I mean, you should see this one, a video. I'm not going to post it, but it was like a bucking bronco on the back of this roach. Not this one. I think it was this one. I think literally it was funny. It was getting tossed around. But anyway, I'm going to sidetrack. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys, because that's it for today. I am going to start pumping out a couple more shorts because everyone that does shorts seems to be exploding wise, and I want my channel to explode a little bit. So I'm going to start pumping out some shorts a bit more than what I originally intended to. But don't worry, I still will be doing long form videos like this one. But if you do like these videos, please hit the like and subscribe because it massively helps my channel out. But you could also look at becoming a YouTube member. I think there's like a little button below this video. Like these guys, Lee, Ant Major, Pumpkin and Wakooshi, because they help out massively. As well as my Patreon supporters, Adam W, David D and Antics. If you want to become a Patreon or a Facebook member, not Facebook, YouTube member, the link's down below. But anyway, that's it for today then, guys. I do hope you enjoyed this video and I look forward to seeing my next one. Bye bye for now.